All right, happy draw day, everybody. We're finally here. The first Grand Slam of the year, and the draw comes out in about 30 minutes. But we're going to get a lot to get through because we've got to preview this thing, talk about what ifs, and then get through the draw and see who wins and loses the draw, because there's always a winner and a loser. There's a lot of dangerous players floating around that nobody wants to play. So lots to get through. And then, of course, the Australian Open starts on Sunday. Later today, we've also got matches with Djokovic is playing. We'll see how he looks physically because he's got a neck issue, apparently. Also, Alcaraz is playing later as well. So it's exciting. Exciting times. So big day of stuff. So excited. Yeah, I love draw day. Draw day is so fun. The draw days is the most fun. Now, the US Open just need to go live, do a live stream for their draw. They're the only ones who don't do it. Everybody else does a draw, even Wimbledon. So, but I love draw day. The draw is coming out in about 30 minutes. But we've got a lot to get through. It's coming out in the next 30, maybe an hour. I don't know. They might do a whole song and dance before. I don't know. Draws are the best. Oh, I love it. Draw days are so fun. All the questions we had sort of get answered today. Where's Djokovic going to be and all this, all that fun stuff. Did they move it up 30 minutes? I have no idea. I don't know where. I mean, maybe they're starting early. I don't know, but it says 2 p.m. and that's in 30 minutes. So I don't know. Unless they're just going to they might just yap for 30 minutes. Probably going to yap for 30 minutes, maybe. Yeah, do some talk show thing. Yeah. Do some ceremony. By the way, Madison Keys isn't here, so I don't know how she's going to be. She won't be at the draw, but Jannik Sinner will be. Website said 2:30. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're just going to yap. But they start in about 30 minutes, so yeah. They never on time everywhere. One knows the rules. Yeah, exactly. It won't come out at 2 o'clock. It won't come out at 2:30. Yeah. They're just probably going to talk and what I'm going to do for the next 30 minutes. But I can't. If I had the draw, I'd give it to you right now. If I had the draw, I'd be like, here's the draw. But I don't have the draw. I'm waiting just like everybody else. But let's get to the most important stuff. So, withdrawals. The list is growing. It's more interesting, the list of injuries, because the withdrawal list is finite and we all know final and we all know who's out. But there's a lot of players that are injured. Could you not hear me that entire time? Why? Oh, we're gonna have to Was I mute the entire time? Could you hear me at all? Okay. Well, you could see it, so like, just that's fine or whatever. I wasn't saying anything interesting anyway. Didn't miss out on anything. I was just yapping to myself. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. It's not important. It's not important. We've got so much time to kill anyway. We'll go through it again and again and again. Don't worry about it. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Should we try again? Should we try again? Okay, let's try again. Where was I? Okay, here we go. One in the chat if you can hear me now. Can you hear me? Hello? One in the chat if you can hear me now. Can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear me? How I speak in office mute. Yeah, I'll just put myself on mute. All right, so let's talk about the injuries again. So, Collins, Jabeur, Zhang, Kudermetova, Wong, Boiseau, and Azarenka on the women's side. No new names is what I was saying to myself before I realized that I was muted. And then Runa, Draper, Feast, Rusevori, and Kyrgios all not playing on the men's side. They're more interesting, the injuries, though. So these are the injured players. Djokovic is not on this list. I haven't added him, but Pegula, Keys, Towson, Kostya, Noskova, Krejcikova, and Ostapenko all have had injury timeouts over the last couple of weeks. You can add Anisimova in there as well. She had some problems last week, but she seems okay. She seemed okay yesterday. Fonseca, Lehechka, Mute, Kokkinakis, Musetti, and Djokovic now you can add to that list. So, yeah, it's more concerning the amount of injuries we've had because, usually when there's an injury list like this, one or two of these players doesn't make it to the main draw. So, keep an eye on all these names going into the main draw. Mute might be okay. He just didn't play the first 2 weeks. Musetti is probably the biggest concern because he pulled out of an exhibition or halfway through an exhibition, and Djokovic as well, who's not on that list. So that's what I was saying, and there you go. Now you know what I was saying. He said put one in the chat. Yeah. You don't have to tell me how long I was muted for. I probably could tell. But yeah. So also I want to clear something up as well. So Djokovic yesterday, right, 24 hours ago, had a practice set against Medvedev. And then after that, he went and had another practice on court 10, outside courts with Lehechka. And apparently in that, because the Djokovic injury news, some people are like, hang on, did this actually happen? And then the second part was, he went and played with Lehechka outside, and for 12 minutes, right? So like only 10 minutes you had a hit. And then he said, I can't do it. And he was getting stretched. So some people were saying, oh, that's not true. We won't know any of this until Djokovic actually mentions it. And he'll get, there'll be a press conference or something in the next few days, or we'll see him today and we can see with our own eyes if he actually, how sore he looks and how he's actually playing. But, I usually don't like to go with things that haven't been confirmed by the player or, with some solid confirmation. But Tennis Channel have been talking about it. A lot of reputable sources have been talking about it. Plus, I went and did a little bit of research to see, okay, did he actually practice with Lehechka? Was that a thing that happened yesterday? Yes, there's multiple images and videos of him practicing with Lehechka. There's multiple things about him getting, and maybe it was just he was stretching, but the photos that I've seen was Djokovic getting work on his neck from a physio. So I was happy to go with it because, and especially if, Tennis Channel have gone with it too. It's like, well, but if there is any update saying that he is fine and it was actually nothing of the sort, then I'll obviously change. I'll obviously change things. But yeah, so some people were like, hang on, did this happen? And yes, of course, apparently from all things that I've seen and all the research I've done, yes, all of that, Djokovic was not 100%. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully it's nothing major. But like I said in the video, he's played with worse things, right? He played with torn hamstrings. He's playing with, after knee surgery, and Djokovic, a neck issue is not comfortable, but he should be okay. Like, I don't think he's going to withdraw. But it's still a concern. Still a concern. By the way, I'm watching Budkov, the new Norwegian kid. I hope he makes the main draw. We can watch him. Ask the Magic 8 Ball if Anisimova will be in Swiatek's section. We'll do that. We'll do that later. We'll ask the Magic 8 Ball later. All right, now speaking of seeds, let's go have a look at the seeds for this tournament because it is very interesting. And also we'll talk about some of the scenarios that could happen. So you've got top 4 seeds, Sabalenka, Swiatek, Gauff, and Anisimova. Remember, none of them can play until the semis, and Sabalenka, Swiatek can't play until the final. Same with Gauff and Anisimova. They can't meet until the final because they'll be put on opposite sides of the draw. Also, just to debunk the myth that 1 versus 4, 2 versus 3, that is not a thing. That is not a thing. A lot of people think that's a thing. I don't know where that comes from. Maybe that comes from other sports where it's like it's common to get 1v4, 2v3. That doesn't happen in tennis because of, people can... if you don't want to play Sabalenka, you want to play Swiatek, or vice versa, you can rig your seeding and tank matches and lose matches on purpose. So that's why they don't do that, just so it doesn't, it is fair. So Swiatek could play Anisimova or Gauff. Same with Sabalenka. So there's no 1v4. So we don't know who they're going to play until we get the draw. Then you've got Rybakina, Pegula, Paolini, and Andreeva. That rounds out the top 10. Now remember, the top 8. Now the top 8, remember, will play the bottom 8. And when I say bottom 8, I mean between 25 and 32 in the third round. That's how it's drawn. There's a formula for it, and that's how it's done. So Sabalenka, Badosa could be a third round. You have Kenin versus Gauff could be a third round. Raducanu is going to play a top 8 player in the third round if she makes it that far. Kalinskaya, Joint, Jovic, Vondrusova, Yastremska. They're all going to take on the top 8 in the third round. It just depends on who they play. And the same is true for the middle part. So 9 to 16 will take on 17 to 24 in the third round. Again, that's just how it's drawn. So you could have Keys versus Penko in a third round. You could have Osaka versus Mboko in a third round. These matches could be those matches are going to be very interesting to see. Now, some of the players that are very dangerous, obviously, that are probably like maybe dark horses going in. Bencic, the number 10 seed there. Definitely got to watch out where she falls. Osaka, as I mentioned. Mboko as well. Very dangerous. Mukova, 19th seed. Very dangerous. There is a possibility that Mukova takes on a top 4 seed in the 4th round. So keep an eye on that as well. By the way, another interesting matchup that could happen would be like an Osaka versus Swiatek, Sabalenka, or Gauff in a 4th round. So remember that as well, because the number 1 to 4 take on the number 13 to 16 in a 4th round, potentially. So keep that in mind as well. And then you've also got, Penko, obviously always dangerous, but she's got a bit of an injury, so we'll keep an eye on her as well, how she looks physically, if she makes it far. But yeah, pretty interesting to see what happens. Now, on the men's side, Alcaraz, Sinner, Zverev, Djokovic, they're the top 4. They can't play each other until the semis. Obviously, we'll find out, I guess if you're Alcaraz and Sinner, you probably want to avoid Djokovic because, well, maybe not. I mean, Djokovic, if he's not 100%, maybe you want to play him or want to draw him in your half or in your half. And then you got Musetti, Demonor, FAA, and Shelton rounded at the top 8. Some other players, Bublik, number 10 seed, Medvedev, number 11 seed, Menchik, number 16. We'll see if he can come good. I think the big one, though, especially for the third round, so when we see who a potential third round opponent could be for Alcaraz and Sinner, would be Fonseca. Fonseca versus Alcaraz or Sinner could be a third round. Tien is another one as well. Could be a third round for Sinkaraz. Tsitsipas also could be a third round for Sinkaraz. So I think the third round matchups will be very interesting, and that's at the end of the last bit of the draw when they draw those players. Other matchups that could happen, potentially in a 4th round, you could be getting a Menchik-Djokovic rematch from Miami. That could be a 4th round matchup. You could be getting a Rublev versus Alcaraz or Sinner 4th round match, which would be very interesting because Rublev has been competitive against both those guys, getting sets off them in the last couple of years. So definitely It could be a really tricky player, Rublev, to take on Alcaraz or Sinner in a fourth round, or even Djokovic, in a fourth round. And then of course the middle eight versus the fourth quarter versus what is it? The second eight versus the third eight. You could be getting like a Kaboli versus Rybakina, which sounds like a 5-setter. Lehechka, if he's healthy, takes on Medvedev. There could be some interesting matchups there. Now, while we're here, let's go look at the players that are not seeded. This is where when the draw comes out, when they do the automatic, when they populate the draw, these are the players that we're going to look for straight away. So Lees had a good run last year, very dangerous player. Wong is a very dangerous player. Beat Swiatek in an exhibition and made the final last week of Auckland. Eala, another player, very awkward player to play. Sakari has been in pretty good form to start the year. Krejcikova, even if she's injured, she's still dangerous. And of course, Venus, we're going to see where she falls. All these players could play Sabalenka or Swiatek in the first round. That's why they're dangerous for both. Well, they're in danger, but they've also could be dangerous. On the men's side, you got Mickelson, you got Baez, Bergs, Dimitrov, Hurkacz, and Wawrinka. There's probably more players that I've missed, but those are the players that I think are the scariest. The scariest one's probably Hurkacz. He's beaten, 2 top 10 players out of 3. He's played 4 matches, I think, he's played 5 matches this week, or last week. He won 4 of them. 2 of them were top 10 players. And then he lost to Demonor in a close 3-setter. He is the most dangerous player in the draw, and Alcaraz and Sinner don't want to see him near them. Berg's also, with his energy, very dangerous. Obviously, Dimitrov, if he's healthy, very dangerous as well. So there's a lot of those are the players that we're going to try and find in the draw straight away. As soon as it shows up on the screen, we're going to try and find out where those guys are going to go, because they're the players that are very, very dangerous. Hurkacz is super dangerous. Super, super dangerous. Very dangerous. I literally just walked through the door and came home. Well, welcome back. Yeah, Mukovic-Swiatek could be a thing. Yep. Sinner would probably rather play Novak, not going to lie. Yeah, especially if Djokovic isn't 100%. Then again, Zverev isn't playing great. I think more it's probably scarier for Alcaraz and Sinner in the early rounds. Like if they get Djokovic and Zverev, it doesn't really matter who's who and who they have to play, because that's so late in the event. There's a lot that can happen, but I think it's more that Sinner and Alcaraz are probably most vulnerable in the first week, right? Yes, they get through with flying colors sometimes, but when you look at Alcaraz, for example, some of his strangest matchups or strangest results have been in the first week of a slam. You look at some of those 5-setters he played in the first week of some of these slams over the last couple of years. Same with Sinner though. Sinner had Sinner at the US, he had that Chapeau match. I think it was third round. Those kind of things. By the way, speaking of Chapeau, he is the number 21 seed, so he won't play those guys until later. But I think especially with not having any official matches, Sinner and Alcaraz early in the tournament are probably going to be, trying to play themselves in, are slightly more vulnerable. Once they get to the second week, and they match up against some of the big boys, that's when, they're going to obviously be better. But yeah, I think that's where a Hurkacz in a second or third round would be really awkward for Sinner and Alcaraz, I think, right? That early in the tournament when they haven't played competitive matches. Yes, they've played a match against each other. Yes, they're playing exhibitions, but when they play Hurkacz, who's on fire in a second or third round, that's where things could get really awkward. That's where they're really going to get tested. Whereas if they play, they don't have to play anyone like that early, then they should be okay. So the draw is going to be really interesting to see who they play early. Raining in Auckland again. Oh man, luckily they're building a roof next year. I'm going every day this year. Came all the way from England. Holy shit, you're going to every day of the Australian Open, and you came from England. So that's that's a big holiday. I don't know if Eala's playing doubles. I have no idea what's happening with doubles. No clue. Sorry. But yeah, so chat, give me your early predictions. Oh, actually, no, you know what? Give me some early matchups. What do you want to see? Do you want to see Hurkacz versus Sinner? Or do you want to see Hurkacz versus... you know what? Hurkacz Djokovic might actually be pretty interesting. Or who do you... If you're a fan of Sinner Alcaraz, like, who do you not want to see? Who do you want to avoid? I don't want to see a tough match for Swiatek again and again, okay? Lees versus Raducanu. Sabalenka not winning. Sabalenka Vondi. That could be a third round. Carlos Hurkacz. That would be fun. Sinner versus Tsitsipas. That's a third round potentially. If it plays out. FAA Fonseca. Ooh, that's fun. Hubie for sure. Sloane Stephens qualifying thoughts. I love that. I love that she did. She qualified. Anisimova Vekic first round. Vekic is also unseeded. That is very true. And Boko versus Sabalenka. Well, that could be, I think that's a fourth round. At the earliest. Sinner Fonseca, I want to see it. I mean, it would be pretty sick if we got Sinner Fonseca, Alcaraz, Hurkacz in the first week. That would be some fun matches. By the way, Berrettini's another unseeded player that I didn't mention. Has made the semis here before, has done well in Australia, so has beaten Alcaraz. I think he's the only player to beat Alcaraz in 5 sets, and it was here. So, something to consider. Berrettini might be another player. I haven't seen much of Berrettini lately, though, so I can't confirm if he's dangerous. But, you know, based on the confidence that he's gained over the last, you know, however many years, and his experience level at this tournament, you'd think that he would be a threat. Noskova, Linda Fruhvirtova, okay. Penko Swiatek. Well, that can't be until the 4th round, and Penko's got an injury. So, if you're a Swiatek fan, you should be okay. You know, 4th round potentially. Was watching the 1 Point Slam. Couldn't believe Vekic was listed as 71 in the world. Yeah, she lost a lot of points at Wimbledon last year, which may her ranking dropped because of that. Mainly because of that. Eala Raducanu, okay. Wawrinka Djokovic. Who's your dark horse pick for the AO? Because I think for the men's side, it's like there's probably 3 players that could legitimately win. Maybe 4. Nah, probably more 2. I mean, there's Sinner or Alcaraz, right? It's like who's going to win. But on the women's side, there's probably more of a broad, like, who's going to win, Sabalenka, somebody else. But what about, like, dark horse picks are way more fun because they're, you know, the outside picks. Kostyuk, Rybakina. Rybakina's a favorite. I don't think Rybakina is a dark horse. Shelton. Yeah, Shelton winning would be a little bit out of the box, even though not uncommon. Like, him winning wouldn't be that crazy, but on the men's side, if it's not Alcaraz or Sinner, then it's going to be a shock. Medvedev, nice. Bublik, Hurkacz would be a wild. Hurkacz would be wild if he was to win as an unseeded player. That would be insane. Mahatch, okay. Eala, Bencic, yeah. Bencic is definitely a popular one. I think Bencic might be on my list too, as an unseeded pick. Dark horse on the men and women's. I think Bencic and Medvedev for me. Munar and Joint. Okay. Bet Rybakina will win based on recent performance. Well, Rybakina is a favorite. If I go have a look at the favorites for the event, on the men's side, it's Sinner and Alcaraz, and then Djokovic, and then the rest. So it's pretty, it's not very fun to see. It literally is Sinner, then Alcaraz, and then Djokovic, and then Zverev and Medvedev. Like, so if you don't pick Sinner or Alcaraz, it's a dark horse pick, I think. On the women's side, it's Sabalenka, Swiatek, Rybakina's third favorite, and then Gauff and Anisimova. So they're the 5 favorites. I think if you pick someone outside the 5 favorites, it should be a dark horse on the women's side. So if you pick Bencic, even Osaka, right? Even though she's won it twice, she's not considered a favorite. Keys is a dark horse at this point because of recent form and injuries. Bencic is so far down the list. How is she? Bencic apparently is behind Kostyuk. That's crazy. Bencic is higher. Should be at least like Bencic should be way higher up than Kostyuk is higher ranked, a higher favorite. That's crazy. How is that possible? How'd that happen? I mean, Kostruk's been playing well, but shit, I don't think she's more likely to win the Australian Open than Bencic. Yeah, Bencic has got to be at least top 8. She's behind like a couple of players, and like she's behind on Boko, but Bencic, the difference with Bencic is she's proven. But hey, look, maybe she's undervalued and people are thinking that she's not going to do well, so maybe that's when you should consider that. Kostruk a dark horse? Yeah, but Kostruk, she played really well last week and had a couple of really big wins, but the problem with her that she's had is consistency. She doesn't do it every week. She'll have a really good event, and then the next week she'll really struggle. She might lose the second round, right? I mean, that could happen. So yeah, Bencic. You know what? I'm going to put $5 on Bencic because I feel like she's. I don't think she. I mean, last year she made the 4th round after having a kid. Like straight, like she came back and then made the 4th round of a slam and then ran out of gas. So like now she's had a full season. How could she not be somebody of interest? I think she's more of a favorite than a lot of the players on that list. Anyways. Osa's, if she's healthy, for sure. She made the semis last year. Jovic, okay. Pegula is 30-1. Yeah, but Pegula, I think, might be injured. That's why. Kostruk will reach at least the quarterfinals as long as she doesn't play Sabalenka. Yeah, I mean, maybe. Yeah. We'll see. I think Demon could make a semi-final run. Yeah, as long as he doesn't play Sinner. As long as he avoids Jannik Sinner. Get Jannik Sinner out of the way, and then he might make an Alcaraz. I think if Demonor gets Zverev or Djokovic in that quarter, then he could make the semis. Zverev Demonor quarterfinal would be kind of fire. My favorite my most competitive quarterfinals from the top 8. I'm gonna go with I think Alcaraz Shelton is a very fun quarterfinal if we get that. Maybe Sinner versus FAA. And then Djokovic versus... I mean, you know what? Djokovic Demon would be a physical fight. And then maybe Zverev versus Musetti. That's probably my... They're my... If you want Sinner and Alcaraz to have to work for it, I feel like Shelton on a hot afternoon against Alcaraz could be really fun. I don't know if Demonor can't beat Sinner. Musetti can't beat Sinner. Shelton can't beat Sinner, but FAA probably more... I mean, he's more likely to compete well against Sinner. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe you want Medvedev versus Sinner in the quarters instead. On the women's side, Sabalenka, Swiatek, Gauff in this moment. So Sabalenka, Rybakina? And then Swiatek. I feel like Swiatek on Andreeva could be fun. Gauff versus Paolini's been a fun match lately. And then maybe Pegula and Nisimova. You could actually interchange those. I don't think there's any, there's no matches there that I'm like, nah, I don't want to see it. Because I feel like maybe Paolini Sabalenka I don't want to see. I don't think that's a competitive match. But everything else is pretty good. What do you think about Sloane Stephens? Think she's back? I love that she qualified. That's so cool. That's so good. Anyone confident of taking out the 10 million giveaway? No. I am not confident. I want to see Eala versus Swiatek again. Okay. I hope Anisimova, Eala, and Raducanu have a good run. Okay. Could be the year that Zverev wins his first slam. It could be. It could be. As much as we love, I love seeing Alcaraz and the history of that, and how good they are right now. But man, it would be great to start the year off with a new champion. Like last year with Keys, like I've said a million times, her winning the Australian Open set the tone for the year. Like it wasn't going to be dominated by anyone. There was a lot of 5 or 6 players that maybe even 10 players that interchanged the big events and made finals. But yeah, I hope on the men's side we get a competitive Like, if we get a new champion to start the year, it might just set the tone, you know? And that could be interesting, you know? More interesting than if we just get Sinner or Alcaraz winning again, and then we're just like, okay, cool, it's just going to be the same as last year. I think that's the thing that the men's game is missing, is just that little bit of unpredictability. I mean, Sinner winning 3 in a row would be very impressive, but if he beats Alcaraz to do it, it's like, oh, again? We keep doing this every year. Every slam is the same, you know? I want one more Sinner final, and we've had all Grand Slam finals, and I'm happy. New champ. We've got another like 10 years, 15 years of Sinner. We can get it eventually. We'll get there eventually. We don't need to have it in the first. We don't need to tick that off now. We can tick that off in 5 years. The less they play, the more interesting it is. The more interesting it will be in the future. If they play all the time, then we're going to get sick of it, and then eventually we're going to. That's a lie. We're never going to get sick of it. But if they play every tournament and then they don't play for one tournament, it makes the tournament look bad then. And we shouldn't have to rely on 2 guys to do everything. Do you reckon they'll ever hit the 20 slam mark? Let's just enjoy every slam that they win, one at a time. I think that's more fun. When does it begin, and when is the women draw or men's first? It'll be the women's first. It's supposed to be coming out in 30 minutes. So, yeah. We will wait. Have you seen the Rotterdam entry list? It's stacked? No. I have not seen the Rotterdam entry list. I'm sure. Is it stacked with, like, was Alcaraz playing again? Is he playing? Is Sinner playing? Alcaraz. Oh, okay. So Alcaraz, Zverev, Demonor, FAA. Okay. Draper, Medvedev. All right. So it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Any player in the draw can get injured, and that includes Sinner. Well, that's true. We hope not, but that is. I mean, yeah, you're right. Anything can happen. I wouldn't say it's too stacked. Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna. If it had Sinner as well, then you'd say stacked. It's pretty competitive though. For a 500, it's got a lot of top 10 players. You need to have Sinner and Alcaraz in the draw in a 500 to make it. It's like super stacked. Yeah, it's kind of stacked. It's not massively stacked, but it's. I mean, Rotterdam's always drawn the best players. It's always had a pretty good list. Kind of like Dubai. Dubai would always draw the best players. You know, it would always bring the best. You know, the top 10 play those events. Do you agree with this prediction? Sabalenka Nole? Maybe, kind of. I mean, it's Sinner or Alcaraz, right? It's if Sinner or Alcaraz don't win, that would be strange. Are we gonna watch Keys and Boca today? Nah, I gotta do too much. It's draw day. We gotta do draw day. Something must have gone wrong if Sinner didn't win. Yeah, either an upset or an injury or both. Yeah. Djokovic isn't winning any slams. Okay. Who plays Hurkacz? Not sure yet. We gotta wait for the draw to come out. Ostapenko is seeded. She is the number 24 seed. Sinner will meet in the finals if there's no injuries. Chad, if you had to pick if Sinner or Alcaraz to lose before the final, who are you leaning towards? Who is less likely to make the final? Sinner or Alcaraz? Who is less likely to make the final in Australia? Probably Alcaraz, right? I mean, just based on history. But I don't know. Sinner trying to go for 3 in a row is a big deal. Like, going for a 3-peat's not easy. Look at Alcaraz at Wimbledon. You know, he and even Sabalenka last year. Alcaraz yet to make a semi run. That's true. Alcaraz less likely, hasn't been past the quarters ever. True. I think he is going to make it past the quarters this year. I don't think Jannik will even care about the 3-peat cam. Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. It won't affect him. Sabalenka will practice it with Swiatek. That's nice. Yeah, that's cool. Have you made your 2026 Grand Slam Champions video yet? Yeah, it's out there. I don't know where it is, but it's there. It's somewhere. Alcaraz struggles in night session in Australia. Yeah, we'll see who he plays, and then if he plays an Australian in the first week, he'll be playing night session. I think one player who people are sleeping on is Medvedev. I don't know who you're listening to, but I think anyone's sleeping on Medvedev. We're mentioning Medvedev multiple times a day. I don't know. I don't think people are sleeping on Medvedev unless you're just watching the wrong people. You know? Praying for Alexandra Eala to win her first slam. Hey, she had a good run last week. Medvedev is probably 4 or 5. Yeah, he's probably behind Djokovic as one of the top favorites, I would say. I still think he's a dark horse technically because, you know, it's Sinner or Alcaraz, and if somebody doesn't win, it's random, right? It's different if Sinner or Alcaraz don't win, but yeah, I don't think Medi's a. I think Medvedev still is a. Like Medvedev should be considered like as a potential champion. He's a contender. Prediction for Eala's run. Ask me in 30 minutes when the draw comes out. Did Kokkinakis pull out of the singles? Yes, in Adelaide. He's still on the list for this tournament. Quarter could very well be interesting. Early match for Jannik. True. Quarter's another one to consider. True. Sinner, Alcaraz, Djokovic, Zverev, Medvedev. Yeah, that's the top 5 favorites in that order. Could Fonseca make a run? I hope so. We love Fonseca. But I'm a little worried for Fonseca because of him not playing in injury. Injuries are there. Nadal is not playing. Yeah, if somebody pulled out, you got to send it to me on Twitter, otherwise not real. I'm sure you're a trustworthy person, but you need to send it to me on Twitter if it's not real. A healthy Draper would have been 4th favorite? Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Prediction, Gauff draws Venus first round. That would be brutal. I'm feeling quite confident about Demon's run, to be honest. Don't know why. Okay. Can Rybakina get to the final if she gets a decent draw? Most of these questions, how is somebody going to go needs to be answered in 30 minutes because when the draw comes out, everything. If I answer right now, could Rybakina make the final? It's going to change in 30 minutes if I say one thing, right? So ask those like how's so and so after the draw comes out. All right, when the draw comes out, I'll be able to give you a clear answer. Draw's going to start in like 20 minutes. It was supposed to start 20 minutes ago, but they changed it. Zverev out in the quarters, you reckon? Okay. The 8-ball is not doing a prediction video. Yeah, the draw's critical, especially on the women's side. Exactly. I mean, Rybakina could lose 3rd rounds or win the whole thing based on the draw. Like this, like the draw is so important on the women's side. Answering any questions before it is, I'm going to have to make 2 answers, but pre and post draw. You know. How does Zverev fall off so bad? What, he's number 3 in the world. He's not that bad. Alex de Minaur should go far, but won't. Okay. Thanks. What made you wear glasses? My failing eyesight. After today, I'll make my predictions. Okay. I'm still going probably Sinner Sabalenka to win. There'd have to be some pretty crazy draw situations for me not to keep that prediction. Like if Sabalenka draws Vekic in the second round, I might make a change. Or if Sinner plays Dimitrov, in the second round, I might have to reconsider. But yeah, like they'd have to have some pretty shit draw to not pick them. Especially with Sabalenka playing so well last week and everybody else struggling. Are you going to watch Adelaide? Probably not. There's too much going on at the Australian Open. We've got to watch that. All the pre-Australian Open stuff is keeping me really busy. Draw's going to come out very shortly. Hopefully in the next 20 minutes. Canadian Open repeat, Shelton and Omboka to win. Okay. Vekic did lose in Kooyong. But Vekic can beat Sabalenka, and that is a fact. Go look at the head-to-head. Kokonakis out of Australian Open just now. Again, send it to me online. Where? Here we go. Kokonakis just said, unfortunately, after speaking to my team and doctors, I pull out of the Australian Open. All right, that sucks. He's playing doubles, though. Chat, this is why we don't watch Kokonakis, because it's not he breaks my heart, it's that he's heartbreaking to watch. It sucks. He played one good match, then got injured, and now he's out. It sucks. Is there enough time to replace Kokonakis? Yeah. He'll get replaced. So he will get replaced with a lucky loser because the draw's already the quali's already started. So the way it works is if somebody pulls out once the qualies have started, or at least once the first round of qualies is finished, they get he'll just have a lucky loser spot. Because remember how Bolter at the start of the week got promoted because they hadn't finished she hadn't played her first round yet. Unfortunately for everybody in the qualies. One of them should have got promoted. The top seed of the quali should have been in the main draw because Kokonakis isn't there now, but unfortunately, it's too late for them. So it's a lucky loser will get them. We'll get a spot to replace Kokonakis. Rooting for Jovic? Okay. Dimitrov will win the Australian Open or Wimbledon. Okay. Whenever I think Kokonakis, I think of that rally he had with Andy Murray. Yeah, that match was crazy. That went into what, 5 a.m.? That was brutal. That was brutal. To watch, it was brutal. Whoever beats Sabalenka will win the AO? Okay. All right. We're just waiting for things to begin. Oh, by the way, I have more to go through. We can go through more stuff. So, let's have a look at who has the most to lose and most to gain at the AO, because on the women's side, there are some very interesting players that have a lot of points that are on the line. So, Sabalenka obviously made the final, but Keys, half her ranking points are tied to the Australian Open. So, if she loses second, third round, Madison Keys is going to drop out the rankings. She could drop down to close to nearly outside the top 20. I think she just stays in the top 20, but a lot of riding on this tournament. Swiatek gets Sabalenka. They should be okay if there was an upset. They shouldn't really be too worried about their ranking. But Osa should be, though. She's 26 in the world with 780 points tied up to this event. Very, very dangerous if she goes out in the first rounds too. Now, on the other side, who has the most to gain? So Paolini and Pegula both made the third round last year, so they have a lot of upside going into this tournament if they do make a second week. Mukova, same thing, second round. has a lot of upside. And then Mboko, she has a real upside as well. If she does make the second week, even if she doesn't, if she makes the third or fourth round, she'll still get a little boost in the rankings because of that. So there's some of the best and the worst case scenarios for the players, or either side of the ranking points. Men's side, Sinner obviously has the most points to lose, which really doesn't make a difference unless, except for his chances of being number one if he does get upset in the first rounds, which is unlikely. But if he did, it would be, he would be a little further away from Alcaraz. Zverev's ranking, though, is tied up in a little bit in this because he's only got 5,500 points. So him and Djokovic, they're trying to keep that 3-4 spot. But if they both don't do well, it puts them, it sets them back. Also trying to get to number 2 for Zverev is already, he's already like 2 Grand Slams away apart from Sinner, but it makes it even harder if he doesn't do well. And Shelton as well. He's got 800 points wrapped up. On the other side, we've got Medvedev. He made the second round last year. He's got like no points to lose at slams this year, so he could just come in and just do so well. If he makes the second week, he's going to be in the top 10 in no time. Mussetti's already number 5, is injured, but could build on his ranking if he does do well. Same with Fritz, only made the third round. And Bublik, who just got in the top 10, lost first round last year. He is also somebody that could, stay in the top 10 longer. Him and Medvedev probably fighting out for number 10 spot over the next couple of weeks. So yeah, a couple of fan favorites have a lot of potential to get more points here. Given Shelton's ranking, 800 is quite a chunk. Yeah, so what Shelton's got, Shelton's ranking is 4,000. So almost a quarter of his points are wrapped up in the Australian Open. So if he was to lose, second round, he'd probably drop out of the top. He'd still probably stay in the top 10 depending on Medvedev. So Medvedev's ranking points he could flip over. Like Shelton could drop out of the top 10 if he doesn't do well, but he wouldn't drop that far down. Probably down to like number 11, depending on other players. Zverev will definitely be back in the final. Okay. Looks like Novak may play. Just saw him dressed in his AO kit. What, today? Well, he's going to play today against Tiafoe. He should play today against Tiafoe. Do you think Wawrinka and Monfils made the right decision by stopping after this year? Yeah, I think so. Mussetti's situation is very interesting. If he makes a deep run, he could be number 3. That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, he's really going to have to do well and hope the other guys don't do well, But yeah, there's a possibility of that for sure, that Musetti could really, really rise. I thought he may have pulled out today for precaution. Now, he's playing Tiafoe in a couple of hours. We'll watch that. Gil predicted number 3 Musetti. Yeah, I heard that. And he might be right if that. I mean, he might be right at the end of the month. Musetti could be number 3. I think Zverev has entered an irreversible decline. Okay. Do you think Tsitsipas is done? Nah, Tsitsipas he'll come back. I mean, last year was just a nightmare on and off the court. So I think he'll be okay. I think Steph will come back. I think top 20 by the end of the year for Steph is possible. Am I going to the AO? Nah. I've got too much to do. I'm too busy with too busy watching it. So I won't be able to go. Long time. Hey, what's going on, Billy? How you doing? I think Tsitsipas could climb back to top 15 if he gets form. Yeah, and also like clay. I mean, Tsitsipas is a clay guy, right? He's a clay court guy. He can definitely do well on the clay. And if he does well on the clay, that should get him at least in the top 20. I mean, look at Ruud, right? Ruud does so well on clay every year, and that keeps him in the top, 15. Do you think Emma Raducanu could go far this year? It'll depend on her draw. I mean, if she gets a decent draw, she's going to have to play a top 8 player. I think if Raducanu takes on like Pegula in a third round, with the Pegula having some injury concerns, she might be able to get to the second week. But yeah, there's a lot of. I mean, Raducanu is going to have a tough. She's going to have to play a top 8 player in the third round unless there's an upset. She has to avoid Sabalenka, obviously, but not obviously, but. Sabalenka is obviously the toughest player in the draw. So yeah. AO starts on Sunday. Hubie versus Carlos or Sinner in the first round would be a nightmare. 100% it would be. Let's have a second round though, so we don't. We got to keep that match. Let's second round. Let's go second round. Yeah, Gene. Somebody already mentioned that like 20 minutes ago, but thank you. That is exactly a problem. I mean, I hate watching him. This is what it sucks to be an Australian tennis fan because we don't have that many hopes, and when we do have them, they get injured. And when they get injured, they're out for months, and then they don't get to play. And it hurts. It hurts our souls. Norrie eliminates Alcaraz. Well, that could be a third round matchup, and we know that's a tough match for Alcaraz. It's been tough. Question for Cam, if Medvedev were to hypothetically draw Bonzi in the first round, do you think he wins? That's a good one. I don't know. Medvedev right now is playing well enough to beat Bonzi. I'm sure he is. Hoping for an Alcaraz versus Zverev final. And Zverev winning it, okay? If you think that's bad, imagine being an Italian fan before Sinner came along. I mean, yeah, Kokkinakis and Berrettini do have a lot of similarities when it comes to devastation. No, all good, Gene. How far do you think Djokovic will go? Depends. Ask me that in 20 minutes. I'm answering all the draw questions after the draw comes out. How far will... Because my answer will change. If I say Djokovic is going to make the semis and then he's going to play Dimitrov in the second round, I'll probably change it to maybe like he might not make it that far. I'm going to say semi-finals and then change my answer in about half an hour. Maybe, all right? It's an asterisk. Semi-finals until draw comes out. Kokkinakis out of the AO, yeah. Djokovic might go as far as third round. You should really? He might? Well, that's generous of you. I know, Cam. I love draw day. Draw day is so fun. The draw coming out is so fun. I am ready to go. I'm ready. Last year, Djokovic's draw was the worst possible. Was it though? Djokovic might get a set in his first round match. I mean, you're coming up with some massive claims. I don't know. That's a bold prediction. Collins did withdraw. Yep. Thoughts on Fonseca back injury? I'm scared. I love Fonseca, so hopefully it's not serious, not too serious. I'm hoping it's not serious. No Seed wants to see Hurkacz. Nah, no way. Nobody wants to play Hubie. But Hubie is the player that we want to see play those big boys because we know how threatening he is. You know? Is Kokkinakis playing doubles? Yes, he's playing doubles with Kyrgios. They're both injured. I don't take the guy with slams over a qualifier. Or I take the guy with 24 slams over a qualifier. Yeah, me too. I would as well. Sinner versus Medvedev, Alcaraz versus Djokovic semis. Okay. AO bracket is a scam. Nobody is getting all 127 matches correct. No chance. Yeah, but you got to be in it to win it or whatever. Medvedev Djokovic final. That'd be fun. Hubie will break bracket next week. He's really good. Yeah, I hope so. I'd love Hubie in like a fourth round. Like if he made it to the fourth round, that'd be sick. Better chances of winning the lottery than getting all 127 matches correct. I mean, maybe. Do Alex have a chance for semis, Cam? Depends on his draw. How much do you think Mukova will go? Depends on her draw. Draw dependent. Ask me in 20 minutes. Baez could really be a difficult matchup early as well. I agree. Yeah, Baez definitely could be an issue for sure. Definitely. Predict a surprising result. I will when the draw comes out. Ask me that after the draw. What do you think about Rublev? Rublev, he's got long hair and he's very scary. Rublev could be not because of the hair, but He could be scary fourth round matchup for sure. Rublev's a dangerous player. Our lives depend on your predictions. Well, that's concerning. If you could pick any two players for the first round match, who would it be? I would love to see Hurkacz versus Alcaraz or Sinner. First round. If it had to be first round, I'm hoping it would be more like, third round. But if it has to be first round I'm picking, then I'll pick Hurkacz versus one of them. All right, chat, here we go. Here we go. They're going to do the women's draw first. I don't think they're going to do it on time. I don't think they're going to do it the second we go live. But it's they're going to interview players. They're going to do a song and dance. Somebody's going to do a backflip, and then they're going to start this thing. It's not like Wimbledon where they're like, you know what, we're going to start the draw at 1 o'clock, and they go live and they say, okay, first name is, and we're like, oh wait, shit, not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. The AO do a presentation. They're going to show promos. They're going to do all kinds of shit. They're doing a whole song and dance. There's probably going to be trumpets. Like last year, there was trumpets. There was like a parade. It's not raining yet, so maybe they'll bring back the trumpeters and the trombonists. That didn't sound right. That's not a word. Is it raining? It's not raining yet. Rain is around, though. So, yeah. All right. Here we go. They are outside. They are outside. Oh, and they're muted. Okay. Hey, don't worry. I've had that problem before. Now they're live. All right. Here we go. We're going to take... we'll probably get this done in about 20 minutes. They're outside somewhere in the area. All right. All right, they're just going to be talking. A lot of yapping. Don't worry, I yap. I mean, we all yap. It's a yap fest. Can't the draw have a rain delay or something? I want to watch the Birrell Christian match. Okay. All right. By the way, is Craig Tiley going to America? Is he like ditching the Australian Open? I wonder if that's going to happen. Is he ditching the Oz Open? Is he the American tournament director now, or is he staying in Australia? Hurkacz draws Zverev first round, bet on it. That'd actually be kind of sick, though. Like, I'd actually kind of love it. I wouldn't be mad at that. Like, could be actually epic. Hurkacz versus Sinner, Alcaraz, Djokovic, or Zverev in the first rounds would be cool. That would actually be sick. Hurkacz and Zverev rematch would be 5 sets, yeah. Can't wait for the clarinets and trumpets to introduce the draw. I don't think they're doing that this year. I don't think they're doing that. Zverev would be finally out of the top 3. All right, well, come on now. Don't be like that. All right. Oh, Jannik Sinner's going to be there. Nice. Jannik Sinner's going to be there. Love that. Hey, he's alone because Madison Keys isn't here. Keys is in Adelaide. They just confirmed. All right. Nice. Jannik Sinner walking with the trophy. No trumpets. No parade. Just a bunch of security guards. Hey, that's the security guard that yelled at me when he said I couldn't get Alcaraz's signature. Hey, that's that guy. That's the guy that was like, no more signatures. And I'm like, but I'm right here. He's right there. Sign my tennis ball. And that guy was the guy who said, no. No, moving on. Oh, I remember him. I got him on video. It's that guy. Oh. All right, here we go. They're going to interview Sinner, and then we're going to get this show on the road. Sinner is placing the trophy on the pedestal. All right, they're going to talk about everything, the weather. I just wanted to get a signature on on a tennis ball. That's all I wanted. Once a draw is announced, when will day one schedule come out? Oh, it might be later today, or it might be tomorrow morning. It might be first thing in the morning. It depends. It'll depend. Good luck winning this thing. Yeah, this is my. Sinner saying this is mine. Yeah, good luck. All right. Yeah, we were so close to Alcaraz. Like, literally, just there. He was right there. He was right there. He was right there. Anyways, usually after the the qualies end today, though. So it should be the first, because they want to try and get, like, hype, as much as hype as they can as well. So they'll probably announce Sunday matches tonight, because the draws, what do you call it? The not the draw. The qualies are finishing today if it doesn't rain. Yeah, it was so close to getting that signature. By the way, chat, do we need to do this? Like, do this, like, talk? Do we need to interview Jannik Sinner again? Do we need to interview the champion again? Like, I feel like they're asking the same questions we've heard a million times. We're hearing the same answer a million times. Do we need to, like, go through this every single time we do something? Like, it's not like we're learning anything new. He's just like, how do you come, to the Australian Open prepared this year? And he's like, I feel good, blah, blah, blah. And you're like, okay, get to the point. Like, they ask the same questions. It's like, I mean, maybe it's for the Australian audience who haven't watched tennis in 12 months. But, like, come on. We know what he's going to say. We've been watching him all year. Be like Wimbledon, just get on with it. Yeah, Wimbledon do not mess around. They're like, you know what? Bang. Like, here we go. Here's your draw. They're punctual. The French Open do it too. I mean, all the 1000s do it when they do a draw. They're like, we're going to talk to the champion again, and you're like, okay, okay. And they wish him the best of luck. Who would have thought? Who would have thought, chat? We've done this so many times. Maybe I'm just jaded. Maybe it's just like, I just want to see the draw. I'm impatient, chat. All right. The yapping has stopped. They're going to take photos, though, because, why not? I see what Sinner is doing with that jacket. What's he doing? What's he doing? Do they ever wish him bad luck? No. That would be crazy. I wish you to lose. That would be wild. What a crazy thing to do. Okay. Here we go. All right, here we go. We're getting this underway now. We're probably lucky that Keys isn't here because I would have had another 20-minute conversation. So we're probably pretty lucky. All right, here we go, chat. Now we're doing the women's draw first. Oh, okay. Who we got? Okay, this is what we look at. Krejcikova, Eala, Wong, Zachary. Where they at? Craig Tyler taking pics, mate. You're at work. Put your phone down. He's the boss. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. He's taking photos. Come on, Craig. What are you doing? Maybe it's because he's leaving. He's going to America next year. Oh, I can't see the draw. I can see some names. Wong is somewhere. Oh, God, I can't see that. I'm blind. Sabalenka's going to play against the wild card from France. Oh, God, Chad, how bad is this? Is terrible, isn't it? My eyes are terrible. Where's Eala? Oh, Eala's there. She's going to take on Parks first round, I think. I think Eala Parks. All right, so here we go. Where is Gauff and Anisimova? Where's Gauff and Anisimova? Remember, Swiatek's up the top, Sabalenka's down. Sorry, Sabalenka up the top, Swiatek down the bottom. It's going to be Gauff versus Sabalenka in the semifinals. Gauff, Sabalenka. And that means Anisimova plays Swiatek. I like those matchups, if we get them. If we get those. We might not get those. I need a bigger screen, I know. All right, Anisimova. Okay, now we're going to find... Okay, so Rybakina, Pegula, Palini, Andreeva. Quarterfinal for Sabalenka. Again, I can't see this unseeded play. Here we go. Now they're zoomed in. Terrible camera angle. Here we go. Oh, they've mucked it up already. Oh, no. All right. Palini is going to play Sabalenka in the quarters. If the seeds play out, potentially. Okay. So, oh, okay. That's better. I could see. Oh, okay. Whatever. We better get the person getting the thing out of the thing. Number 8. Oh, Andreeva versus Gauff in the quarters. Interesting. Andreeva Gauff in the quarters. I'm just having a scan. I can't see. Oh, Krejcikov is in that section too. Okay. All right. All right. And Pegula's going to take on Anisimova in the quarters, which means that Rybakina versus Swiatek quarterfinal. Ooh, okay. All right. Rybakina Swiatek quarterfinal. Okay. Okay. All right. Now we're looking at 9 through 12. So Keys, Bencic, Alexandrova, Svitolina. 4th round matchup with the top, with 5 to 8. Alexandrova is going to take on Palini in the 4th round. Alexandrova, Palini. Who put that screen there? It's in the way. All right. 12. Ooh, Svitolina versus Andreeva in the 4th round. Winner plays Gauff, I think. I think that's what I just saw. Yes. 9th seed. Ooh, okay, Keys. Ooh, Keys versus Pegula. Winner plays Anisimova. That's a pretty interesting... I mean, that's the American draw, that is. All the Americans in that section. Bencic is going to take Swiatek... is going to take on Rybakina in the 4th round. Winner plays Swiatek. That's getting really stacked. Swiatek's draw is getting kind of tough. That draw kind of stinks. Swiatek, why does she always get the worst draws? I don't even know. Is it Vekic Bencic in the 1st round? Is that what somebody just said? Oh, Bolter Bencic. Okay. All right. Towson's up the top. She's going to play Sabalenka in the 4th round. But she's injured. So Sabalenka's draw is probably the best out of the top 4. Navarro is going to take on Gauff in the 4th round. Venus might play Gauff in the 3rd round. I think I just saw Venus. Where's Kostruk? She hasn't been drawn yet. Noskov is going with Anisimova, which means Osaka Swiatek, 4th round. Oh no. Swiatek again getting the worst draw. The bottom quarter of the draw is Swiatek, Osaka, Bencic, Rybakina. Why? What did Iga do? Why are they throwing her to the wolves? That is a nightmare. Just put Ostapenko in there and be done with it. Jesus, what are we doing? Oh, and Mboko's up the top. Okay, so that's a little tougher for Sabalenka now. Mboko's going to take on Palini in the... No, sorry, Mboko versus Towson. Winner plays Sabalenka in the 4th round. Kostruk's up the top too with Sabalenka. Okay, Sabalenka's got some hurdles now, but Swiatek's draw still sucks. Like, her draw still sucks the most. Oh, Mukov is up the top too. Mukov is in the top quarter, half two. Navarro and Mukov, winner plays Gauff. Yeah, Gauff Venus could be a 3rd round could be a 2nd round. 2nd round. Coco Venus 2nd round. All right, I missed that one. Whoops. Most of these players are not too dangerous, except for Penko. Leylah Fernandez is going to take on Keys 3rd round. Okay. Oh, Fernandez Chen 1st round. Oh, Penko's down the bottom. Oh, down the bottom half, but not in Swiatek's quarter. Noskova versus Penko, third round. And then the very bottom, 21 is Mertens is down with Swiatek in the quarter 4 is the quarter of death. That is crazy, that quarter. Anyways, Bencic, Mertens, fourth round. Now this is important. Raducanu, Vondrousova, Badosa, Kenin. Sabalenka is good. Oh, Samsonova's down there as well. Samsonova, Osaka, winner plays Swiatek. All right, here we go. Here is the third round for the top 8. Sabalenka. Who's she going to play? Sabalenka's going to play. Third round. Raducanu. Raducanu versus Sabalenka, third round. Interesting third round. Jovic is going to take on Paolini in the third round. Oh, Raducanu fans, you're probably all asleep. But when you wake up, I'm sorry. Oh, Vondi is going to take on Anisimova, I think. Or Gauff. No. Oh, Vondi, Gauff, third round. Actually kind of fun. That's really fun. Oh, Yastremska's going to take on... who was in that section? Was it Andreeva? Oh, Badosa's going to take on, I think, is going to take on Pegula. Third round, okay. Anisimova is Kenin and Anisimova in the third. By the way, Kenin Stearns. Quarter 3 is the American quarter. Stearns versus Kenin first round. That's fun. Joint is going to play Rybakina in a third round. Oh, God. Joint's getting the worst. Oh, she's going to play Valenta in the first round. And that means that Kalinskaya, Swiatek, third round. Again, Swiatek's got the worst draw. Her draw is tough. Swiatek. Like, that is... the seeds are tough. Maybe not the first, second rounds, but the seeds of Swiatek are very tough if they all progress, which is a very big if. Usually, that doesn't always happen. That is brutal. That's brutal. There could be some very tough matches for Swiatek third round onwards. So Sabalenka Raducanu is a banger on the third round. Winner plays on Boko or Towson. Sabalenka's draw is manageable. She's never lost to Raducanu, right? 3-0. Could be Pavlyuchenkova second round, but she should be able to deal with her. You've got Paolini's playing a qualifier first round. Jovic in the third round. But again, Sabalenka shouldn't lose to anyone. She just beat Kostyuk. She should beat Paolini. She has beaten Raducanu, even though it's been tough. Towson's injured. Alexandreva's out of form. Jovic is inexperienced. On Boko could be interesting. Coco versus Rakimova first round. Winner play... Oh, Venus in the second. Venus versus Gauff second round. That's what we want. And then Vondi third round. Mukova Navarro. Eala takes on Parks and then plays Mukova second round. So Eala's draw is awkward. Buksha Svitolina first round. You got Andreeva Vekic first round is a banger. Vekic, the winner plays Sakari. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Andreeva's draw stinks, but but great for us to watch. That could be really fun. Vekic versus Andreeva first round is fun. That is fun. Krejcikova Schneider first round as well in that same section. Fun. Very fun. By the way, he just said Sakari versus Tomanovic. That's not the draw. Oh, they're next to each other, but they're not playing each other. Tomanovic versus a qualifier, but she's also injured, so we don't know. Mukova Eala second round. Yeah, that'd be fun. Eala, look, for the Eala fans, it is an interesting, it's not she could get to the third round. So Pegula versus Zakharova, Badosa Diaz, Chen versus Fernandez is fun. Waltert versus Anisimova. Anisimova should get through until the third round when things get really tricky. Shrimkova Ostapenko first round. That's tough for Penko. Yeah, I think the section 3 is kind of open. Anisimova should get through based on recency. Pegula and Keys are not sure how fit they are. Same with Noskova. She's not 100%. So Penko, I mean, Anisimova, if she's healthy, should win that draw. She should be able to get through everybody. Maybe Keys if Keys comes good. But Anisimova should be able to get through into the semis. Like, her draw is probably the nicest draw of the bunch. Depending on her form, though, and her injuries. Swiatek's draw is a nightmare. Rybakina, joint. Mertens, Bencic, Osaka, Samsonova, Kalinskaya, Swiatek, and that's just the seeds. Holy hell. Swiatek could avoid a lot of them because Kalinskaya could lose. Osaka losing before the fourth round, unless it's to Samsonova, which has happened. But Samsonova's not easier. Like, Swiatek's draw is just like killers if the seeds play out. Not too many unseeded dangerous players, though, for Swiatek. Buzkova's second round's no joke, but she should be able to get through Swiatek to the third round. But then the qualifier, who's that going to be? Sloane Stephens? First, that qualifier could be dangerous. Man. All right, so Swiatek, until I do like a bit more of a thorough, and we'll go through it later, until I get more of a thorough look, I'm going to say that they're showing a video now. I would say that Swiatek lost the draw and probably Anisimova won the draw. I think Anisimova's draw, if she's healthy, she should win. She should get through semifinals. Sabalenka's got some hurdles. Gauff's got some hurdles, but I think Swiatek's draw, it's not so much that the players she's got are tough for everybody, but they're tough for her. Like, there's potentially those really tricky third, fourth rounds. And she doesn't have to play all of them, but there's just more chance she's going to play one of them, right? She might not play every single player I just mentioned, but she probably plays 2 or 3 of them if the draw plays out, you know? Mukova second round versus Eala, yeah. That's going to be interesting if that happens. I think Vekic versus Andreeva are a great first round. Really fun first round. But yeah. Parks is no joke, but Parks does hit a lot of errors. So if Eala should win that, if she's just, Parks could double fault. Parks is very dangerous, but she's also error prone. So Eala should be able to navigate through that match. Unless Parks has one of those days where she's just too powerful. But yeah. Yeah, the trophies went on a tour through the entire of Australia. They've just got on a massive tour into the middle of nowhere. I feel like the bottom section's more Oh yeah, the Swiatek section is for the seeds crazy. Unseeded players not so much. But the bottom part for the seeds is hectic. All right. Now we're just waiting for the men's draw. We'll go through the draw after this. Now on the men's side, Hubert Hurkacz is the big one. That's the one we're looking for. Where is Hurkacz? Where is Hubie? Where's Dimitrov? Where's Wawrinka? Those are the three. The 3 big ones. Those are the 3 unseeded dangerous players that everybody should be watching out for. Here we go. Men's draw. Here we go. Here we go. Randomly placing players. Please show us the whole screen. Come on now. Hurkacz is, I think, in the 3rd quarter. I can see his name. He's playing Bergs in the... Oh, Bergs. Hurkacz, Bergs, first round. 2 dangerous players. Alcaraz and Sinner are not going to play him. But Zverev and Djokovic could. Zverev, Djokovic could play Hurkacz, I think. I think they're in that area. All right. Oh, Alcaraz takes on Walton. Quarters in that section. Sinner plays Gaston. Good start for both. They should both win. Good start for both. Where's Dimitrov? Where is Dimi? Where is Dimitrov? All right. Where's Djokovic going? Alcaraz versus who? Here we go, chat. First part of the draw. Here we go. Alcaraz versus Zverev. Djokovic, Sinner down the bottom. All right. I mean, probably not bad for Sinner or Alcaraz. Either way, I don't think it really Would Zverev be better against Sinner? I don't know. Would Djokovic be better against Alcaraz? I don't know. Djokovic plays Martinez first round. Okay. All right. Dimitrov's in that section, I think, too. I think I just saw his name. All right, here we go. 5 through 8. Who's going to play Alcaraz in the quarters? Please don't be Demon. Oh, it's Demon. Oh, no. No, I said don't be Demon. Demon or Berrettini first round. Oh, what? He's Australian. What are you doing? Why are you putting the Australian through hell? We just had Kokonakis withdraw. Why are you doing this to us? Oh, you're supposed to give the Australians nice draws. Isn't that supposed to happen? I have a twitch. 7 versus 3, which is Zverev versus Auger-Aliassime in the quarters. Demon Alcaraz quarters, and he's got to play Berrettini first round. Oh, all right. Musetti plays Djokovic in the quarters. I don't know where Hurkacz is. Wawrinka is around. I don't know where. I can't see Hubie. I can't see him. Where's Hubie? I think Hubie's in Djokovic's quarter. And then Shelton Humbert first round, but then also Monfils second round. So Shelton Monfils second round could be fun. Shelton Sinner quarterfinals. I don't like that. I don't like that. Oh, Bublik. Bublik versus Demonor. Winner plays Alcaraz. Ooh. I hate that for Demonor, but for the tournament, it's not bad. Where's Medvedev? Medvedev's up the top half too. Medvedev versus Auger-Aliassime. Winner plays Zverev. Medvedev-Zverev quarterfinal. Could happen. Okay. Taylor Fritz. Wait. Why is Taylor Fritz in there? Why is the number 9 seed in there? Wait. Oh, no. We're doing... Okay, sorry. I blacked out. I thought we were like 5 to 8. Sorry. I'm going crazy. And then Rude is down the bottom with Shelton and Sinner. So, okay. So, who was it? It was Fritz and Musetti are in fourth round. All right, Rublev. Where's Rublev for a fourth round? This is interesting. Rublev. Fokina versus Alcaraz fourth round. That's a good one for Alcaraz. Alcaraz should, if that happens, Alcaraz should be okay. Alcaraz, Hanfman second round, Walton first round, okay. Oh, Rublev. I tell you, that second quarter's getting stacky. We've got Analdi, Rublev, Zverev fourth round, Medvedev, Aliassime fourth round. Winners play each other. That second section where Zverev is kind of stacked. Menchik's down there, down the bottom half. He's going to take on Musetti. No, sorry. He's going to take on Djokovic. Menchik, Djokovic fourth round rematch. Love that. And now Hashanov, Sinner. I'll tell you, Hashanov, Mickelson first round. Okay. Sinner and Alcaraz are getting through this pretty nicely. There's nothing standing out yet, but there are still names to watch out for. You still got to watch out for Fonseca, Tien, Norrie, Tiafoe, Tsitsipas. We'll get to them eventually. All right, here we go. Who's next? Number 19, Tommy Paul. Where's he at? Paul. Oh, Paul Fokina. Winner plays Alcaraz. That feels like a 5-setter in the third round. Number 20. Oh, Caboli is up there with Alcaraz. Okay. Caboli, Bublik third. Again, that feels like a 5-setter. All right. Caboli versus Bublik. Winner plays Demonor. All right. Cerundolo. Is it Cerundolo Zverev? Not again. Cerundolo Rublev. Winner plays Zverev. Kind of. We're close. 24. Who's that? Oh, Rinderknecht. Is he playing Vasheroy? No, he's not. He's playing Medvedev. Medvedev Rinderknecht. That's 5 sets. It shouldn't be, but it is, right? Lehechka's down the very bottom. Now, he's injured, but he's going to take on Fritz in the third round. If that's a good match, if they're both fit. And that means Shapovalov is going to take on... Oh, sorry, no. Grigspor is going to take on Menchik. Winner plays Djokovic, but that means Shapo's down with Sinner. Potentially in an early round. Shapo down the bottom. Tadiri is right down the bottom. So, Shapovalov Rude third round. actually kind of fire. Didiri's down there too. So Didiri's going to take on Hashanov. Winner plays Sinner. Sinner's draw is nice. Unless he gets somebody in the in the third round, he's got a nice draw. A lot of qualies, a lot of players he shouldn't be worried about. Like, there's no one that Pirikar on a good day maybe plays tie breaks, but other than that, I don't think Sinner should be worried for the draw. Either should Alcaraz. Alcaraz is going to play Mute third round. Again, I don't think Alcaraz. Korda's probably the biggest threat early. Opelka, nah, maybe. I don't know. Alcaraz and Sinner should make the fourth round without dropping a set, unless something bad happens. Tiafoe, Demonor, third round. Okay. Demonor, it's draw. I hate it. Yeah, Alcaraz and Sinner are have avoided all the catastrophes. Norrie is out of the way too. Norrie Zverev, third round. Bonzi, by the way, is playing Norrie. Where's Fonseca? Oh, not hitting. Oh, Tien. Is that Tien? Don't say Tien Medvedev. Oh, he's in that section though. Tien Medvedev rematch, fourth round could be a thing. Tien versus FAA, third round. You know what? Just give us Sinner Fonseca third round, and I'll be happy because I don't want to watch the first week of men's tennis with nothing to watch. Just give us that. Come on. Or Djokovic. I'll take Djokovic. Fonseca. Nole's going to take on Nakashima third round. So that means Fonseca's still on the board. Tsitsipas Musetti third round. Come on. Vachereau and Fonseca are left. We got to chat. We got what we wanted. Maybe not Sinner fans, but we're getting Fonseca versus Sinner third round. It's happening. Fonseca, Sinner, third round. It's the only threat that Sinner has probably until the semis, but maybe to the quarters, but Sinner, Fonseca is going to happen in the third round if they both win. That's the best matchup for the top two. Alcaraz should cruise on paper. Sinner should cruise, but then we get that Fonseca match. That's what we want to see. But is Fonseca fit? That's the problem because Fonseca has the back issues. Man. I don't know where Hurkacz was. I'm blind. I can't see shit. Where's Hurkacz? If Fonseca pulls out, I'll cry. So Alcaraz's toughest opponent, maybe Paul, Bublik, and Tiafoe on a really good day. I think Alcaraz should be okay. Tommy Paul fourth round is probably the most concerning. Maybe Korda. Korda on a good day in the third round could be something. Demon or quarterfinal. Demon or Berrettini first round. Get out of here with that. Get out of there with that. Get the hell out of here with that. With nothing to watch, a tennis fan? Nah, mate, I'm not a tennis. What are you talking about tennis? I don't even like tennis. Yeah, there's no real unseeded players there. Opelka can be tough, but not against Alcaraz. Korda, Opelka. The seeds, like I said, Bublik and Paul, and maybe Demon or if Alcaraz is not quite himself, but should be, Alcaraz's draw, he should make the quarters. Zverev's draw is stacked. Cerundolo, Rublev, fourth round. Medvedev, Rinderknecht, Nesh, Tien, FAA. That draw feels a bit open. It's Medi's draw, I think. Zverev and Medi. FAA, it's open. I think that's open. Unseeded players there. Again, nothing really to worry about. Where's Dimitrov? I don't even see Dimitrov. Did anyone see Dimitrov? Is he here? He's got to be somewhere, right? Yeah, I think Medvedev's draw. That could be Medvedev's draw. That could be Medi's section. Oh, there's Dimitrov. Okay, Dimitrov, Mahatch, winner plays Tsitsipas and Musetti. That's the one-handed backhand section. And then the Wawrinka's there as well. Stan versus Lehechka, second round winner plays Fritz. Okay, interesting. And Hubie's there too. Hurkacz, Bergs, winner plays Grigspor, and Menchik is there too. Djokovic's fourth round could be awkward. But Djokovic versus Martinez, winner plays Atman, potentially. Okay. Novak should play himself in. Martinez is not going to blow him off the court. At-man serve is a threat, but that might be a good threat for Djokovic to practice returns. Nakashima shouldn't pose a problem. Van der Zandschulp is there, though. We know what he can do. Menchik, Carino, Buster. That's 5 sets, right? Hurkacz, Djokovic, 4th round is what I want to see. Oh, they've moved the camera again. I can't see nothing. I can't see! I can't see it! I can't see it! Oh, here we go. Shelton versus Humbert. Winner plays Monfils. Fun. Vachero's in there as well. All right. There's, again, I mean, Cilic is up there, is down there too, but Sinner's draw. Fonseca, 3rd round, is the standout, and he should be okay. Dadiri, nothing. And Khachanov shouldn't be a problem. Mickelson, if he gets his shit together, might 4th round, but he's got to get through Khachanov. Yeah, Sinner's draw. I mean, Sinner and Alcaraz don't have a tough draw, but it's because they're Sinner and Alcaraz. But Fonseca is the toughest player that either have to face early.
Demon getting Berrettini 1st round. The trap.
It's a nightmare. Demon all got screwed. All the Aussies got stuffed. Like, no Aussie got a good draw. And we already had, like, Kokonakis pulling out before the tournament draw even come out. So we've, like, it's just been a terrible day for Australia. And I don't know why, but, you know, we are at the Australian Open. Why are the Australians getting screwed? That's what I want to know. I'm not saying they should rig the draw, but I'm just questioning why they go the other way. Like, it's like we got to prove something that it's not rigged. Do we have? No, we don't. No, we don't. We don't have to do that. Brutal. All right, we're going to go through the draw, and we're going to show... We're going to go through it a little bit. Not crazy, but we'll see if I can find it. That would help. I don't think anything crazy. I mean, there's no real crazy first rounds. Really? I mean, nothing super crazy. Let me have a look. I might be missing something. All right, let's have a look. We'll look at the women's draw real quick. So, all right, so Sabalenka versus Rajana. 1st round, that's one of the wild cards. Raducanu, 3rd round, Sabalenka. That's fun. By the way, Sawonku, we watched the Southeast Asia Games. Very fiery customer. Raducanu's 1st round could be very awkward. Potapova, Lemens is there as well. Okay, on Boko versus Jones. Again, Aussie's getting screwed over. Towson's injured, but she's there. Oh yeah, Kudermetova plays for Uzbekistan. That's why I'm getting confused. All right, so you got Alexandrova. Okay, Palini. Again, nothing really standing out too much because everyone's down the bottom. Rakhimova, Gauff. Venus versus Gauff 2nd round. Now that's something that we want to watch. That's something interesting. That could happen. Vondi's there. Monero, who beat Gauff in the United Cup, is also there, so that's interesting. There's Parks versus Eala. Winner plays Mukova. Eala. That could be very fun. Lynette's there as well. Navarro, Lynette. That feels like a 3-4 hour match. That could be crazy. All right, there's still the top half. Svitolina. Okay, that's not... I mean, Schneider, Krejcikov is interesting if Krejcikov is not injured. Vekic Andreeva is probably one of the banger first round matches. Winner plays Zachary. If Andreeva makes it to the 2nd week, that's going to be a tough one. That's going to be a tough one. All right, let's. They haven't populated everything yet. Okay. Oh, there we go. Pegula. Okay. Badosa, Pegula, 3rd round. Keys is there. I feel like this is kind of open. This is the American section, right? With Anisimova and stuff. So that's not bad. Pliškova's there too. I didn't even see Pliškova. Keys should be okay. If she's fit. They haven't populated everything. There we go. Keys, Kruger, 2nd round. Oh, actually, maybe not. Keys, Kruger could be a tricky 2nd round. That could be awkward. They're still populating that part. We'll go back to it. Rybakina, this is where it gets really crazy. The bottom quarter of the draw is crazy. Rybakina, joint, Mertens, Bencic. Bencic, Rybakina, fourth round. Kazatkina's there. I mean, all the Aussies there in the toughest section. Again, not fun. But this is the craziest section. Osaka, Swiatek, fourth round. Kalinskaya, also a danger. I mean, there's 3 seeds there that Swiatek's lost to. Buzikova second round is also awkward. I wouldn't say Swiatek loses that, but it's awkward. Lise is there as well. Castella's there as well. Sigamund's there, who is an absolute nightmare. So there's Swiatek's draw is just not fun. That is not a fun draw. And this is an Nissimova section, by the way. I don't know why it's not being populated, but they're getting there. The Wikipedia Angels are doing their thing. We love them. We love the Angels. But yeah, Swiatek's draw is rough. What about the Aussie who made the final of the 1 point slam? Isn't she a lucky loser? No, that was not an Aussie. Garland's not an Aussie. Garland is not an Aussie. Bencic Mertens, yeah, that could be interesting. Any questions? Give me some questions. If you want to know certain players, specific players, and in the draw, you want me to give you any names or any unseeded players that are floating around that you're wondering where they are, let me know. I'll tell you. None of them can or will be Swiatek from that section, okay? Mboko's up a break-ins keys. Nice. No people only asking questions before the draw comes out. Yeah, nobody has questions now. Where's Eala? Eala will take on Parks, who is a very big hitter, but she's also very error-prone, so it's going to be an interesting match. And she might play Mukova second round. So Mukova versus Eala, second round. Tien is in the same section as Medvedev and Auger-Aliassime. So Tien versus Auger-Aliassime, third round. What's Ben's draw? Shelton. He has got... he's in the same quarter as Sinner. Sinner and Shelton are in the same part. So yeah, Sinner and Shelton quarterfinal. We're getting Berrettini de Minaur. That's a banger first round, even though I hate that first round personally. I don't like that round, but we're getting that. We are getting that. Medvedev has got a nice-ish draw. He like potentially semifinals Medvedev Alcaraz could be a thing. Quarterfinals Zverev Medvedev winner plays Alcaraz, that would be perfect. I would love that. De Minaur will probably get through the first. He should beat Berrettini. It just sucks because like all the big matchups are against the players that. Why can't they be against the other players? It would have been great to see Berrettini Alcaraz first round. That would have been more fun than de Minaur, personally. What's my take on Novak? In regard to what? 6th section WTA appears. Okay. We'll get to it. Bolter Bencic is a good first round. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, Bencic should win, right? What dates does Alcaraz play? No idea. And we're almost got it here. We're just waiting for the last couple of names. But yeah, so this is the Anisimova section. Ken and Stearns, that feels like a marathon. We've got Noskova is in there. Like I said, where was it? There you go. Eala, she's right there against Parks. Winner plays Mukova. Gauff is in there. Gauff Venus second round is potentially a thing. Andreeva Vekic is probably a banger first round. Keys is there with Fernandez in the third round potentially. Rybakina is there, but this is probably the most interesting section is Swiatek because Kalinskaya is very dangerous when she's playing well. Osaka, we know how dangerous she is in general, especially at the Australian Open. Samsonova shouldn't be overlooked. But yeah, Swiatek's draw is for the seeded players she has to play, potentially, because obviously they could lose. Potentially could be very, very tricky. Sabalenka on the other side, she has... I mean, Raducanu third round is no joke, but also she has beaten Raducanu 3 times. Mboko Towson winner plays Sabalenka is interesting. I kind of want I think Towson might not be... Like, Towson's injured, so she might not even make it that far. But Mboko fourth round against Sabalenka is what I want to see. That would be a great matchup if we get it. Paolini section's pretty open. She should... I mean, Jovic-Paolini third round is fun. Kostyuk is there. Winner of this section takes on Sabalenka. So, you know, it only gets harder for this area. Gauff Venus second round. There we go. So Anisimova is taking on Waltert. And then you got Anisimova taking on Kenin third round. You've got Ostapenko, who's injured. Noskova, who's injured. So Anisimova, I think Anisimova should make the quarters and shouldn't, unless she herself gets injured, she should win. She's in kind of like the injury section. These two injured. Or at least Noskova was sore. Penko was injured. And then that means the winner of this section will take on the Pegula section. So Keys, Pegula. Oh, sorry, the Keys section. Pegula, Keys, Badosa. But Anisimova should, like, Anisimova should make the semis. Like, a semi-final for Anisimova should be the benchmark. If she doesn't make the semis, then there's an issue. But something's happened, you know. We'll get to the men's draw soon. Diallo versus Zverev testy match. Yeah, that could be interesting. I mean, that could be tie breaks. A lot of big serves. Atman will beat Novak. Well, that could be fun second round. Alcaraz versus Walton first round. Yep. Alcaraz should be fine with that. Anisimova and Noskova played an epic at Wimbledon last year. True, but will Noskova make it that far? That's the thing. I know Anisimova is coming in with an injury, but she looked okay yesterday. So maybe last week was precautionary. There's a lot more players that are have worse injuries than Anisimova did last week. I think Anisimova played Kostyuk, who was wrecking everybody. So it's like, yeah, I don't think Anisimova is as sore as some other players. I think she'll be okay. Unless first round we see her get a medical timeout and she has leg, wrapping or something. I want to see Musetti versus Dimitrov. Yeah, that could happen. That could happen. I think that's is that a third round? Fourth round? Menchik Hurkacz third round. Winner plays Djokovic. Oh, that would be very fun. Yep, the draw's out. The draw is out. We're going to go through it. Put and save a first major with the tried and true strategy of yelling. Yeah. Dimitrov versus Tsitsipas is the second round. Yeah. There's a lot of one-handed backhand players in that area, in that section. Emerson Jones. Yep, she takes on Mboko. So that sucks for all of us. Novak also not inspiring confidence with his injury. I mean, his draw is not that bad. But yeah, more concerning about his injury for sure. Medi looked locked in practice. Yeah, Medi looks scary. Very scary. Dimitrov Tsitsipas versus Musetti. Battle of the one-handers. Yeah. Definitely Sabalenka versus Rybakina. Amanda finals loading. Okay. Demon's Path is a nightmare. He's got to play Alcaraz in the quarters. And Berrettini in the first round. Like, Demonor's section sucks. Demonor has a bad draw. I'm not happy. Yeah, Medvedev's in form. He's won... has he won back-to-back tournaments or 2 out of the last 3? Something like that. He's won 2 of his last 3 tournaments. Fritz section a nightmare. Yeah, I think that's probably the hardest section of the men's side. Sinner and Alcaraz got through pretty unscathed, except for Fonseca in the third round for Sinner. That's the only like I think major threat. Yeah, I'll show you Sinner. This is what Sinner's draw currently looks like. So you can see there, Gaston first round. Sinner should beat him. Duckworth or a quali second round, and then Fonseca in the third round is the big scary. He should beat Didiri. He should beat Hashanov. In a fourth round, you got Baez Pirikar. That'll be 5 sets. That Baez Pirikar is going to be a big serve versus a defensive player. That's going to be a grind. Mickelson versus Hashanov, that feels like 5 sets too. But yeah, Sinner Fonseca is the first. I think that's the first match between Sinner or Alcaraz versus everybody else that's interesting. Yeah, I don't think Sinner. So I don't think Alcaraz has. Does he have a tough third round? I don't think he does. Oh, here we go. Yeah, Mute's not easy. Mute's awkward. A quarter versus Alcaraz third round if Quarter's playing well, but we don't know if he is. Paul fourth round is probably the toughest for Alcaraz. We know how Paul and Alcaraz have played some epics in the past. For Kina, I don't think beats Alcaraz or pushes Alcaraz. I think Paul's probably the biggest threat for Carlos in that area. We don't know who the qualies are, though, in this section, so that's also something to keep an eye on. Any more questions? Any other questions? Mickelson did beat Hashanov last year. There you go. Fonseca could lose to Spizzirri. Well, yeah, Fonseca, we don't know how injured Fonseca is as well. We've seen him play 0 matches. So, yeah, how hurt is Fonseca is also a question. Spizzirri got Fonseca in the qualies of the US. What was it, 2 years ago? Yeah, Bublik is in the same part as it hasn't got all the names here, but yeah, Bublik and Kaboli, Tiafoe, Demon, or winner. One of these players might play Alcaraz, and one of these players might play Alcaraz in the quarters. So Bublik Alcaraz quarterfinal is legit. Bublik Demon or fourth round though is actually insane. Kaboli and Tiafoe are awkward too though, but not for Alcaraz. Like Alcaraz should be able to beat these guys. Should. But against each other, this is a good little section, to all these guys playing. I mean, third round between these two is great. Third round between these two is great. Fourth round between any of them is great. Like, they're all fun matches. If you're a Demonor fan, it's a nightmare. But if you're not a Demonor fan, this is a great little section. But the winner of that section plays Alcaraz in the quarters. So that's, good luck. Kaboli versus Bublik is a good one. Yeah, that could be really fun. Zverev got a tough first round. Zverev has a tricky draw for sure. He might have the worst draw out of the 4. Does Djokovic have an easy draw? It could be easier, but so I'm going to say he doesn't have an easy draw, but he doesn't have a tough draw. I don't think his draw is tough. Like Djokovic has a manageable draw. There are some hurdles, but I think Djokovic should be okay. He should beat Nakashima. He should beat Griekspoor or Menchik. And then Musetti, one of these guys is in the quarterfinals, right? So he should beat Fritz. He should beat Musetti. He should beat Tsitsipas. He should beat Lehechka. It's the unseeded players that I can't remember because they haven't been put in yet that are tough. Another banger first round is Humbert versus Shelton. Winner plays Monfils. This is in the Sinner quarter. Munar in this area. Rude Munar second round. Didn't they play 5 sets last year? I think they did, right? And then you've got the Sinner section, which, again, Shelton Sinner, we've seen that before, and Shelton doesn't really go through Sinner as much as he does through other people. But then Shapo is not easy, but Shapo in the quarters is a bit of a stretch because Rude might outdo him in the third round, right? So, yeah. So again, it's just that Fonseca match. I think that the Fonseca Sinner match is the match that if we don't get that match, the first week's going to be kind of a bit mid, if we don't get Sinner Fonseca. And that's going to happen at the end of the week because it's the third round. So Sinner Fonseca is not going to happen until like Thursday, Friday, Novak Atman could be a great second round. It could be if Atman serves the way he has. But yeah, Shelton might be a threat as well if he makes the quarters. Yeah, but it just depends on how he makes the quarters, Novak is already easier draw with traps. Relatively easier draw with traps. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I think Zverev out of the four probably got the worst draw. But also, is it because Zverev is the fourth best of those four? I don't know. Fonseca will need a fight. Yeah. He's got to get through the first two rounds relatively unscathed before you play Sinner. And he's got a back issue. I don't want to get my hopes up for that match. Nothing is easy for Novak. Yeah, I mean, but easy and manageable are two different words. Easy would imply that he's not going to lose a set. Manageable means he should get through. And I think it's manageable. His draw is manageable. If Sinner gets upset, I could see Shelton making the final. Yeah, but who does Sinner lose to? If you're going to say Sinner getting upset, but who's going to beat him? By the way, this is the Alcaraz in the Alcaraz part as well. Bublik, Brooksby, interesting. Demon or Berrettini, banger first round. Probably one of the best first rounds. That'll be a night session on day 2 or 3. Yeah, that is the match of the first round, I would say. I would guesstimate people would be saying that's the match of the round. Here's Djokovic versus Martinez. Not easy, but it's probably a good first round for Djokovic because he won't get he won't get overpowered by Martinez, but he'll get to hit a lot of shots. So Djokovic will get a lot of rallies. And then Atman in the second round potentially is the opposite, where he'll get a lot of, he'll be able to practice his returns. And then Nakashima back to kind of like the Martinez type, where it's not going to get overpowered. And then Grigspor and Menchik back to the Atman type. So Djokovic is getting a good workout in the first week to get to the quarterfinals, playing against big hitters, potentially, and long rallies. So he could play himself in. It's not like he's going to play a bunch of grinders and then in the quarterfinals take on a big serve, right? It's Djokovic by the time, if he gets to the quarters, he should be all right. Hurkacz isn't in that section. I don't know what you're talking about. Novak should make the semis most likely. He should, but we don't know how bad his neck is. And look, one of these guys could be inspired. But again, overall, I mean, none of these guys are going to beat a Djokovic at his best. Maybe on clay, Musetti and Tsitsipas push Djokovic, but unfortunately, Fritz doesn't beat Djokovic. Lehechka's injured anyway. Musetti on a hard court against Djokovic, unlikely. Tsitsipas lately hasn't been playing good enough to beat Djokovic. So, these guys, I don't know if any of these guys would beat Djokovic in the quarters, unless Djokovic comes in, hurt. Yeah, but there's the Djokovic section. So Hurkacz, Bergs. Hurkacz is in that section. My bad. I mean, Hubie, Menchik, Grigspor. They're all, if Hurkacz gets to the fourth round, though, he probably has been through some wars. He's going to have to beat Grigspor again. He's going to have to beat Menchik potentially, and then play Djokovic. If it was second round Djokovic or third round, I'd be like, oh, maybe Hurkacz. But Nole, by the time he gets to the fourth round, he's already played. If he plays Atman, he'll be ready for Hurkacz because Atman's going to be doing a lot of Hurkacz things. Hubie could still beat him though, obviously. If Djokovic is Djokovic is not fit and Hurkacz is acing everybody, Hurkacz could beat Djokovic. But it just depends on what happens. They're playing a little too far for my liking. Does that make sense? By the time we get to the fourth round, will Djokovic be ready? Will he be? He'll probably be, gain that confidence and feeling okay. And Hurkacz, will he be the other way where he'll be playing? He'll be tired because the fourth round's a long way. That'll be next mid the weekend, right? The middle weekend. If Hurkacz and Djokovic were playing second, third round, that probably is better for Hubie. But the longer the tournament goes on for Hurkacz, he hasn't played much. And he might have to play 5 setters. You know, Bergs could be 5 sets. We could play Griekspoor 5 sets. Menchik 5 sets. I mean, they could be some long matches. And then you got to play Djokovic. So I'm a little bit hesitant. Unless, if Hubie was playing second round Djokovic, I'd be like, that is a problem for Djokovic. But it's a little, I don't know. It feels like the longer it goes on, the harder it's going to be for Hurkacz to back it up. Because he hasn't played so long, you know? So many players are injured. Yeah, it's so silly that we're starting the year off with injuries. Like, we haven't even played one. Some players haven't even played a match yet. And we're already talking about how many players are missing. So this is the Zverev section. Zverev section's actually kind of crazy. Zverev Diallo first round is going to be tie breaks. Popyrin, if he plays good against Zverev, could be interesting. Norrie, Cerundolo, Rublev. I mean, this feels open. This one does feel a little bit open, this section. Could be awkward. Djokovic can go as aggressive as anyone, and at the same time, he can be as defensive as anyone. I'm hoping for his 80% fitness. Well, we're watching Djokovic in about an hour and a half. Can we talk about Medi's draw? Yeah, so this is Medi's draw. So Medi's in that section. Again, I like Medvedev's draw. I don't think it's. I think he should be able to manage. Like Tien fourth round, yeah, we know Tien can beat Medi. We saw that last year, but I don't know. Again, it's like the Hurkacz thing. The fourth round's a long way away. So are we going to get Tien versus Medvedev? You know, Tien has to beat FAA potentially. You know, Medvedev has to get there. You know, so I feel like it's too far away to say they're going to play. There's too many hurdles, right? Medvedev, I mean, they're both not guaranteed to make the fourth round. You know, there's only a few players you can like already book. You know, for that spot anyway. Tien FAA third round is exciting, yeah. Medi beat Tien last time they played, yeah, but he lost the first 2, didn't he? Wasn't it 2-3? 2-1, sorry. By the way, here's Mussetti's section. So this is who wants to play Djokovic? Yeah, this is awkward. I mean, you got Wawrinka, you got Dimitrov, Musetti, Tsitsipas, Fritz Lehechka. I mean, this is an awkward little section. And the winner plays Djokovic. That's your prize, right? You win the section, you play Djokovic. If Djokovic makes it to the quarters. But again, he should. So that's the awkward section there. Yeah, we're just waiting for this section to load for the Medi section. But other than that, I think we've gone through it all. Again, if you have any questions... Oh, wait, the Shelton section. So Shelton Humbert... Winner plays Monfils, potentially. Vachereau, Chapeau, Cilic, Munar, Rude. And that's all just to play Sinner in the quarters. So again, Sinner and Alcaraz should make the semis, really. Unless something happens, right? It's always unless something happens. You know, injury happens, right? But they should all get through. They should all make it through. All that for a drop of blood. That's it. I hope Medi improved at the net game a tad. Yeah. By the way, there are still qualifiers that we don't know who are going to play who yet. So only scary match for Alcaraz FAA? Maybe. Shelton backhand got better than last year. I expect him to make it quarters. I hope so. Steph going out first round. That's harsh. Mochizuki is tough though, yeah. Martinez is Djokovic's first round and he just won a tournament. I hope he comes in motivated to push Djokovic. I hope so too, but I don't think Djokovic is losing to Martinez. Unless Djokovic is... The only thing that Djokovic has got to worry about, and we've seen this in the practices in the last couple of days, is getting gassed. You know, Martinez could run Djokovic round and push Djokovic physically. And if Djokovic isn't 100% physically, you know, if he's breathing heavy and he's sweating and, you know, like we've seen Djokovic in the past, it's going to be a workout. Like that is a workout first round. And maybe like I think Martinez could win a set, but he's not going to overpower Djokovic. So that's why I don't think Djokovic is going to lose that match. I'm not worried for Djokovic in that one. If it was, if he played Hurkacz in the first round, Hurkacz could overpower Djokovic potentially, right? But I think Martinez is a good match for Djokovic to play, to get that, to try to test himself out physically. And he doesn't have to worry about being overpowered. He's only got to worry about himself physically, how he's going to be able to, you know what I mean? It's one of those matches where Djokovic, doesn't have to, there we go, Medvedev section, doesn't have to be scared of, he doesn't have to worry too much about his serve or anything like that. He just has to worry about his fitness going through, right? So that's the Medvedev section. We've got, Tien, possible fourth round. You've got FAA there. And, Medvedev de Jong first round, third round against Rinderknecht Nesh. So yeah. Fonseca suffered a lower back injury last week. Yeah, exactly. That's why it's, I'm not getting my hopes up for that match in the third round, but yeah. Sinner versus Djokovic with a neck issue. Well, we don't know how bad Djokovic is hurt, so we're going to keep an eye on that as well. By the way, Roger's in the house. Roger Federer is in Melbourne. Should I go to the Australian Open right now? Should I run to the park? Should I go right now? Federer's there. Should I leave? Should I run? Quick. Federer's in the same state as me. Federer's like an hour and a half away from me. Should I get on the train? I don't know how I'd get to him. He's behind the scenes and I can't get in there. But Federer's in my country right now. For the first time since 2020. Federer's in my country. That's crazy. I've already got his signature. Doesn't matter. I already got his. I don't need his signature. I want Alcaraz's signature, goddammit. All right. Well, that's it. That is that. And we're going to get the draws done. We're going to do a draw preview. All those videos coming out soon. If I had 20K, I could talk to him face to face. I don't. But yeah, that's it. I don't know on the women's side, definitely, but it's just the way things are right now. On the women's side, there is obviously way more interesting matches and matchups. On the men's side, it's just Sinner and Alcaraz. Will they be bothered? Will there be a problem in the first rounds? We'll have to wait and see. Most people would say no. But there it is. That's the draw. Now, we are going to be watching Novak Djokovic taking on Tiafoe, which is a bit of a spontaneous exhibition that's coming up. It's coming up in a couple of hours, so we'll be back. But happy draw day, and the draw is out. What a good day. I love draw day. Draw day is always so much fun. Always so much fun to speculate and then to see what happens. And then to speculate more because, at the end of the day, nobody knows what's going to happen because anything could happen. Injuries happen. Upsets happen. Predictable stuff happens. So I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for hanging out. But there it is. Australian Open draw starts on Sunday.